With GTA 6 around the corner, has anybody asked you, what is your dream GTA 6? And if so, what did you say? If no one has, I'm asking you that now. But in the spirit of asking and wondering, I also wonder what other people might want in their GTA 6. So today's video that we're going to watch, hopefully we'll learn that and maybe that question will be answered. And today's video is called My Dream GTA 6. Link to the original creator down in the description below with the video, of course, and a playlist to all my GTA related reactions. And if you enjoy the commentary and everything we do here, consider subscribing as we talk more about GTA 6 and beyond. And as well as we're trying to hit a million subscribers by the end of the year. They say it's impossible. I don't think so. Not without your help. Anyway, let's get into this and let's get all this Japanese out of the way.
I love how everybody has their own Grand Theft Auto, similar to how everybody has their own James Bond growing up. Like mine was Pierce Brosnan
Oh,
riding a tidal
geez.
wave away from a giant space laser. Things got crazy. My
What a
Grand Theft Auto
time.
was Grand Theft Auto 4 on the Xbox 360
Same,
and
dude.
Grand Theft Auto Chinatown Wars on the DS, which after selling
Ugh.
black tar heroin out of my trunk, I would play fetch with my Nintendogs. But mainly it was Grand Theft Auto 4. I remember
I had played Chinatown because I borrowed my friend's DS, but I didn't have a DS at the time. I ended up getting it later, but by then the kind of the hype around it died down already, and so I just stopped. I didn't want to play it by then. But GTA 4 was definitely my GTA.
remember hopping online after school and joining up with my friends who were already in a game. Mainly I was playing with my boy Steven, aka X, God of Killing X.
What
And
a
there was always
name.
something going on, whether we were doing stunts off the skinny ramps in the airport, insulting our
gosh.
asses that we got a continent away behind the old dilapidated building. I remember holding up countless amounts of clucking bells, and we would do like fake heists at the lawyer building in Liberty City, where we would just shoot a ton of civilians, RPG a bunch of random cars, get a 5-star wanted level, and then run inside and hold off waves of police, shooting off so many rounds that the whole room was covered in smoke. And then eventually one of us would dare each other to go run outside and see if they could grab a SWAT car for us. And
Dude, that's literally what I used to do pretty much the entire time. That's all I did. And the funny thing is, like that's kind of what the adversary modes and stuff like that are based off of people doing. Just going into these buildings, like play the parts of like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and then we just hunker down. And I even did that in Red Dead Online too. It's really funny. And we would pick our characters and try to play those characters while we were doing these like heists. It was so funny. It was crazy. What a time to be alive.
see if we can make a break for it. Those were the days, man. And
Yeah,
some of you might be
crazy.
thinking, wait, Grand Theft Auto 4 was your first Grand Theft Auto? Aren't you like 27? What, did your parents not let you play San Andreas, you little bitch? Yeah, I was 8 years old. And I grew up in a God-fearing household. So I wasn't allowed to play rated M games until I was like, I don't know, 13. Whenever the modern day Call of Duties got into the
The way I see it is I was able to play the other ones, but I say the first one I was able to own. Now, I was young at the time to own GTA 4. I was still a kid, but my parents had bought me it. You see what I'm saying? Whereas in the past, I would have to borrow games or go to my friend's house to play those other games. So GTA 4 was like the first GTA that was like mine. Because San Andreas, I remember going to a friend's house to play. So it's it's one of those things where like for some it's the ownership of it that means something. And I think I still own GTA 4. I know I'm not gonna cut this out, but let me go see if I have it. Unfortunately, I don't have it back there. That means it's in my storage, which sucks because that means I had to go through all these games. So I have my games that I have behind me on my wall, my shelves, and then I have like a whole storage container full of them. regret. That means I gotta go dig them out. But I'm not gonna dig them out. But here's one that I still have: Max Payne 3. I for sure have the other Max Paynes in in the in the storage. And then my GTA 5 with the original map, original disc. Yep. I also have a Red Dead, um, additional Red Dead with the map and stuff inside too. So it's just crazy. Oh, and I grabbed Bloodshot because I thought it would be a really cool one to show you guys. But no, I got a bunch of games. I would have to dig them out, but yeah, it's the ownership. At least I love physical discs, and so that's where I feel like I start. If that makes sense.
Mainstream, and my parents just got the rating system erased from their memory. Up until that point, I had to settle for the kids' Grand Theft Auto, which was The Simpsons Hit and Run.
You know how expensive that game is right now? Expensive.
Which fortunately was a banger. And I know some of my fellow non-denoms are gonna be like, what? Your parents will let you watch The Simpsons? Yeah, my parents were cool Christians. No, we weren't allowed to watch Family Guy or South Park. I didn't do drugs until I was like 18. I do remember watching my friend Mark down the street play San Andreas. He didn't really have involved parents in his life, so he got to play it all the time.
The way he's framing it is crazy. But yes, same thing here. I had a friend that owned that one.
I specifically say watched him play because he would never share the fucking controller. Fast forward a few years and
it was funny because at the time, I don't want to say his name, but he would actually let me play for him. And then I remember as I got older, his sister, because like I moved and then I moved back into that same neighborhood. We moved back to the neighborhood, and then his older sister had a crush on me. Besides the point, but it's just crazy that he actually wanted me to play, and he would like to watching me play it, which is crazy.
And one night, my oldest brother Peter came home with a game case he was borrowing from a friend. That game was Grand Theft Auto 4.
Yeah, buddy.
He pulled it out of his jacket like he was hiding a gun.
Yeah.
My parents were asleep, and we definitely didn't want to get caught playing the infamous Grand Theft Auto. Not to sound extreme here, but I think me and my brother would rather be caught watching a beheading video rather than caught playing Grand Theft Auto.
Dude, oh my gosh. I let my friend of mine who was like also like his parents were super Christian. I let him borrow the Dead Space series. I still have the Dead Space games right there. I let him borrow my Dead Space games because he really wanted to play. It was really, really funny.
God forbid we're in the sex shop with all the posters. We started playing it. He was playing it. I was watching again. And I remember being very surprised at how gray everything was in Grand Theft Auto 4. Everything in that game is so dingy and grim. There's so much fog and smoke everywhere. You're driving a piece of shit taxi for your lovable slime ball of a cousin Roman. You're getting into random street fights at a basketball court, and you're sleeping in that absolute rat's nest of an apartment. I loved it. I love Nico, I love the city, I love the heists, I love the betrayals in the story, I love the Soviet Union clothing, and I love that most importantly, I never got caught playing GTA 4. Fast forward a few more years, and GTA 5 came out. And I remember this vividly because I was 17 years old enough to play rated M games. I was a junior in high school, and I got the game, and I came back home, and my mom stopped me when she saw the game, and she said, "What is that?
Yep.
You are not playing Grand Theft Auto in this house." And I was taken aback by this because at this point, I had literally played thousands of hours of Grand Theft Auto in that house. This led to one of the...
You know what's funny? I have a similar story. So I remember buying the game, playing it for like the first day. Parents catch me. So then I have to return it because it was still within like the first 48 hours. And I was like, fuck, I have to return it. So then I was like, okay, can I just return it? I'll go to return it. They watch me watch me return it, but little did they know, I returned it and got an Xbox gift card. We used to have the Xbox gift cards back in the day at the stores, and you know what I did with that gift card? I straight put that motherfucking on digital because I bought the game digitally after that. Dude, it was so funny. It ran like shit though on the digital version. Or it didn't run like shit, but it took forever to download. But I just remember having my Xbox on and taping something in front of the little ring and like leaving it on and turning off my TV so it'll download while I was away. And like if my parents came in and saw what was on, I didn't want them to turn on the TV and be like, "What is he doing?" You know? I remember that. I remember those days.
Weirdest conversations I've ever had with my mom where I was trying to persuade her to let me play the new Grand Theft Auto. And I remember one argument that really sticks out was me saying, "Mom, I literally just play the multiplayer. The strip clubs don't even work in multiplayer. They're only in
True.
single player." And I'm sure there was a bunch of other stupid shit that was said, but eventually she let me play it. And GTA 5 was an absolute blast. I love the
great.
three-person dynamic in the story, which, yes, by the way, I was lying to my mom. I definitely played the campaign. And as much of a fan of the story I was, it's not like the best thing in the world, and it does not compare to the amount of hours that I spent in the multiplayer comparatively. Hanging out with my boys, doing money glitches, getting super fast cars, souping them up, going skydiving, stealing a jet from the military base, running from the police on a train with a 5-star wanted level, you know the deal. But eventually, that excitement, over months and months, starts to die out. But the thing is with
And even then, it died out much quicker than that. I had more fun with the single player when it first released because there was nothing to do. I mean, it was fun because it was exciting for like the first 2 months if you could get in. Once it started working, it was like it was fun, but then you realize quickly that there wasn't anything to do.
Rockstar Games, you always come back to it like every year, multiple times a year to check
Yeah.
in on how it's doing.
Just to
They
see
did
what's
put a crap
what's
ton of
added.
updates in the game, but there are some things that just never came to us the way I wanted it to. Like heists being put into the game. I didn't like that it would take you out of the lobby, and the heists were always like random shit. Like, let's go steal from a lab who has like data on the government and we can sell it to these just
Yeah.
make it a bank, dude. And we'd stop playing again and then come back the next year and there'd be a guy in the game that was modding the game and spawning Ferris wheels in the city and giant whales were flying through the air and everybody was getting billions of dollars for free, and it just felt like God was an 11-year-old in that game. And we
Yeah.
did this consistently until Red Dead Redemption 2 came out.
Oh,
that
baby.
sucked our lives away. And
Such a good
spent even
game.
more time in Red Dead Online, wasting a ton of time doing things that I didn't want to do to get almost no
Bummer.
money for it. And
Bummer,
then making a video
yeah.
about that, which launched my YouTube career. Thank you so much. And now it's been
It's actually true. It literally not save, but made him a YouTuber. And I always say this as somebody, my YouTube channel technically was a Red Dead channel. I wish I would have committed more to it, but hindsight, like, kind of worked out because it didn't. I mean, I'm a smaller creator, but I don't know. I think just the game itself didn't survive very long. And it would have been hard to make content on a Red Dead game that has nothing to it. So I kind of like the direction. I like how it all worked out for me, at least.
almost 10 years since the last Grand Theft Auto. I was 17 when GTA 5 came out, and I'm almost 30 now. And nowadays, it's a rarity to see gamers universally get excited about something. But
Yep.
with the new Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer, I think it's okay to get on the hype train. The game takes place in Vice City, which is modeled heavily after Miami, and as a Floridian, things look very familiar.
Oh,
And
it's
I'm not
very
talking about
personal
things
for
like the
him.
cities or the iconic buildings. I'm talking about things like the interstate. There's a scene with a crazy guy grabbing his crotch outside of his car, but I was so distracted by the background, which was so strangely accurate, with like the rainy streets and the overpass and like the realistic road signs and construction off to the side. Like, that is Florida. Looks like if you were to look to the left, you'd see the eyesore of I-4, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh my
That's what I think is gonna be
God.
the wildest part of Grand Theft Auto 6, is the sheer amount of detail packed into this game. They showed 90 seconds of gameplay, and there's already like hours of content you could do
Oh,
dissecting
yeah.
what's in
Probably
the trailer.
billions
At one
or
point, they enter a
millions
liquor
at this
store,
point.
and like every single bottle, packaging, bag of chips, tiny shirt thing in the background is modeled. There's like a billion different logos and clothings and cars.
Oh yeah, High Rollers lifestyle. Nice. And I'm excited for the chains. Look at the chains. They're like layered. Um Hopefully, I'm hoping they're layered. I'm hoping it's not like just all one set, but either way, it's still really cool that they s- don't feel like a little plastic thing on your shirt, but they're like real chains.
So many questions just start arising in my head. Like, what
Yeah.
kind of wildlife is going to be in the game? Is there
A
going to be
lot.
hunting like Red Dead Redemption? They
God,
show
I
so
hope
many
so.
different types of people and body types. Like, Are we gonna be able to gain weight like Arthur Porkins? It's just so cool to think about. Like, I've been playing Red Dead 2 recently
No.
again, and I played so much differently than I originally did. It's probably because I played thousands of hours of the game, but like I've been playing Red Dead and just walking slowly through Valentine, just following around NPCs and greeting them and just seeing what they do, like carrying planks to a construction site. I'm just like fascinated by
Yeah,
the
I do
detail
the
and the
same.
footprints in the ground. It's just like unbelievably well done. And I just can't wait to do that in the next Grand Theft Auto, just drinking in the amount of detail, you know, after I rob and kill hundreds of people. I do like this Bonnie and Clyde romantic dynamic they have between the two main
it's
playable
super
characters.
emotional.
I think we're gonna be in for a roller coaster ride of emotions.
That's it's funny, I haven't seen this video, but I think that's kind of like before he says anything on that. I want it to be I think people want it to be action, action, action. Brain, stimuli, stimuli, stimuli. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. I'm fried. No, I want it to be not as slow as Red Dead, but feel very intentional. So like if there's moments where they want you to cry, I want it to feel like rather than um like constantly going because this generation that's taking on this next GTA is like brain fried. Like I don't want Rockstar to be appealing to them. It sounds if that's what I'm saying, I guess. I want it to be a real Rockstar game.
which is actually what I want from a Grand Theft Auto. I
Exactly.
love like a wild card character like Trevor, but I also loved characters like Nico when he had serious moments talking to like a girl on drugs or whatever. Like, you really should get off the heroin. I think it is really interesting that you'll play both of them though, like people that are in love, and I imagine will get intimate. So in Grand Theft Auto 6, you can literally go f yourself. And I have to mention that the game does look fantastic.
True.
The lighting, the foliage, the mud, the blood, the amount of people, the way they move around. I think we're gonna be blown away by this game. But I do have to mention that, and I hate this, that I was a little jaded when the trailer started, because when Lucia turns around, her hair looked a little bit grainy, and my red flags were up the rest of the trailer. Luckily, the trailer looks great. Some of the skin looks a little plastic, but that's okay. I still got plenty of time to work that out. But I hate that this happened because it's the exact same concern I had for the first Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer. When Arthur comes up to a guy that's like laying against a stone, there's like no shadows.
Yeah, but the game, it's funny because like there's a video, I don't know who made it, where they show trailers and the trailers and then the downgrades, but then Red Dead is one of the few ones where it's like an upgrade. Or Rockstar's managed to do upgrades on most of them.
On the ground, and I was like worried about the next game.
Yeah.
Then the game comes out and it's literally the most jaw-dropping, beautiful game I've ever played, where there's like in-game cutscenes with my custom facial hair and custom outfits that look straight out of a movie. So I'm not really worried about it. And other physics were shown that look really great. No, I'm not talking about the ass. I'm talking about the
I keep mentioning it too. How does it? He's like he knows us.
hair blowing on her face. Okay, and the boom boom. You also got to factor in that every NPC is going to have custom hair physics and booty jiggle physics. The hair grain was like my only concern in the trailer. Besides the social media aspect of the game, which makes total sense for a modern day game, but there is just a bias coming from me of like, oh God, I go to these
More
games
of
for an
this.
escape from the bullshit of the world, not to have social media incorporated into that game experience. Hopefully it'll be something that's more of like a side thing, like GTA TV, that's totally optional to watch, but who knows, maybe they do something interesting with it. I'm really curious of what they'll add into GTA 6 that they can take from Red Dead Redemption 2.
I didn't want to say anything about the apps, but I do want to say this. This is where I'm worried. Is like when I was going back to like, I don't want everything to be like, I don't want the story to be so fast paced because of the brain rot that has suffered these kids. And so the concern is with this. We know social media is going to play a big role. I just hope it's not so fried of a story when it comes to pacing. Other than that, I'm all on board with it. I just care about pacing, a lot of pace. Pacing is everything for a game like this.
Like, I'm hoping we'll be able to sling a rifle on our back, or like,
we will.
dual wielding. Is there going to be more NPC interactions like we had in Red Dead 2? I really like those,
hope
but
we
it would
get
be
dual
really
wielding.
cool to see a deeper version of them.
Say what you want about the people around here. They're friendly. All best now.
All right, bye. Are our cars going to function more like a horse, where we can like carry stuff in it, where we pop open the
Oh, but how old is this video? I think it's like a couple of weeks. Little did he know there's possibly the ability to ride horses in the game. At least based on the leaks, you know. But we don't know for sure we can ride them.
Trunk of our car and throw weapons inside that we can't carry? Or are we just gonna stick with the guns appearing out of thin air like we've been doing since the beginning of time? I'm hoping that they keep updating the combat physics, like when you shoot somebody in the neck in Red Dead Redemption 2, they'll start bleeding out and grab their throat. Oh, it's wonderful.
Which we know because he's pretending like he does. I think he's pretending like the leaks don't exist. Or at least I don't know how old this video is, but based on the leaks, we know that the AI responsiveness, whether it's verbal, reactions, ragdoll, all of it is dramatically improved. Now, how much of it will we see? I don't know. That's obviously like I'll never know until the game comes out.
I'm excited about potential limb removal, and if we're lucky,
Yep.
decapitations. Actual serious note on that, I hope that GTA 6 doesn't like PG up their game just because it has such a massive reach. Like, I know the game
Yeah.
made $1 trillion and kids started playing it, and channels like Quabblecop and Jelly started.
This is my concern. This is my concern. And you're saying, well, I'm one of those kids. Well, too bad. This is my concern of the game.
Posting videos with such bright, saturated neon colors that it could roast a Christmas ham. The game started adding in stupid bullshit like flying cars and motorcycles. Like, the real adults do not want that. Like,
No.
keep the game grounded, please. No pun intended. Like, let me shoot somebody in the head and let it be remarkably graphic. Let's talk about what I will want in my GTA 6 and the multiplayer that comes
Oh,
after.
God, here we
Or
go.
right when it releases would be great. First of all, I will want as many detailed interiors as you can give us. I'm seeing a ton of hotels, which is probably gonna be super hard to do, but that would take the game to the next level of insanity. A main reason I bring this up is because how it would affect the multiplayer free roam. In GTA and Red Dead Online, I never really loved the way that you made money in those games. In Red Dead, it
awful.
made you do like the most longest, boring mission for like $16 after a 30-minute mission, which was nothing because a dirty hat cost $200. Across the board, delivery missions suck f***ing dick. I never liked the GTA races. I always felt like I had to do them to like level up my character.
It was the only way to make money too, like quickly.
And things like the heist, I was always put into like a private lobby with 3 friends. The game should let you make money having fun in the free roam. And what I hate the most is getting onto Red Dead Online, entering the game, and there's literally nothing to do. None of the free roam incorporates the main mechanic of the game, shooting guys. Unless you're like trying to kill lawmen and lower your honor level, gain nothing from it, or just like annoy other players that are just trying to walk around. Red Dead Online's free roam is just a fucking hunting simulator, which is arguably the biggest failure of potential I've ever seen in a video game. The reason I bring up the interiors in GTA 6 is because imagine in free roam if there was like at least 50 different buildings, it could be more, it could be less, that were scattered around the map where you could perform heists at on your own time. The reason why I say 50 is because imagine if there's more than 64 players in a game.
They could really be like less than 30 with detailed interiors. We don't know how big the world is yet. Yeah, I guess we don't know.
It would give players different options to go hit different locations with their friends and not run into other players that were ready to ruin their experience. Like,
so he's saying it from a perspective of griefing. I actually think like just ultimately I agree with what he's saying about the free roam. Like the fact that you have to keep going to all these lobbies, you go and load into free roam just so you can load into another lobby is insane to me. So I agree in that sense, like it's just so cumbersome and it's just you're wasting so much time. Especially if like me, I have a 9 to 5. I don't have time for this. So I can see it. What I'm curious is I want to see what they do with GTA RP, the CFX side of things. That's what I'm more concerned about because, to be honest, if they combine the two, I want to see how they do it. But GTA Online to me, I don't know. I would have to see. But I played more GTA RP than I have GTA Online.
getting RPG'd by a dude in a morph suit. And maybe there's like a random location chooser that like triples the amount of payout at this certain heist. So that would naturally attract the PvP to that location if that's what you want. It would also give players that nerve-wracking feeling of like, let's say that heist is out in the middle of nowhere and you get to go do it. It's like, are players actually gonna show up? Or are you gonna be able to get away with it scot-free? Is scot-free a thing? Scotch-free. It would also be sweet to see different security levels to those heists. Like some could just be like a liquor store and some could be a giant lawyer building, which would have different payouts and they would send different levels of police or SWAT or even the military. In Red Dead 1's multiplayer, I loved how you leveled up. You leveled up by going and clearing out gang hideouts scattered around the free roam, and you were working towards unlocking new characters. And what I really wanted was the dwarf zebra.
The zebra or the buffalo. But I think you could get a golden buffalo at one point. Um, but yeah, that's I remember like the customization. You had to unlock characters, and so like if you had the zebra and like certain characters, it's like it was like a way to show off that you did the challenges.
In GTA 6 Online, I would want the game to reward you for what you're naturally drawn to play Grand Theft Auto. Along with the multiplayer, I think this would be a really cool time to add in new game modes along with the free roam, like having roleplay servers. It's become so wildly popular with Red M and GTA roleplay, it would kind of be wasted potential just to like leave that to the modders. In general, I would also really love the devs to just try really hard to not sacrifice what they make in single player, transitioning it to the multiplayer. I would love to see the same amount of NPCs and character diversities, keep the same amount of cars and interiors. I hate how in GTA Online and even Red Dead Online, they sacrifice things like not being able to see hair physics or clothes physics. Even
I think he brings up a really good point. I didn't even think about this. It's the consistency of immersion on both. Because like if you play the Red Dead story, it's really immersive. But when you get to Red Dead Online, it is extremely detailed and immersive. But when you run into a place where it's not, or it's not the same on either end, it's really noticeable, right? Same thing with GTA. GTA 5 is a lot more common that they don't match up. But I didn't even think about this, and I think he brings up a good point. Let me know if matters to you. I actually think this matters a lot more than I expected it to matter, to be honest.
for just your character. Especially hated in GTA Online, the freaking painted on beards and
Oh, the facial hair was trash.
just in general, what the characters looked like. They looked like this like strange alien John Marston
And they all look the same.
descendant. I know they'll have plenty of customization for clothes in the game. We've seen that clearly in the trailer just already, but I would really like the game to be like the next AVP and character customization.
AVP, he said it. We mentioned this in our last video. Maybe we need to. I actually made a ABP video on this channel. I unlisted. Maybe I need to bring it back. Because you guys just don't understand what APP really be like, you know? All I'm saying is that's all I'm saying. I don't really be knowing what it was like.
Where we can adjust our weights, our heights, and have really different unique faces between characters. There's also a lot of random smaller things I want to see in Grand Theft Auto 6, like Grand Theft Auto 6 being the first GTA to add in proning. Let's see those immaculate footprints
We know that proning is going to be a thing because of the leaks.
that we got in Red Dead Redemption 2 brought into the game. I do want to hear some better gun sounds. I don't know if you guys remember, but like the Grand Theft Auto 4 Glock sound.
Crazy.
Let's avoid anything like that, please. I would love to see better melee combat that doesn't feel so
true.
secondary. And along with that, being able to pick up like random items like a beer or a brick like we do in The Last of Us and use that as a weapon. I'd also like to see a smoother movement system in general.
This also could be a take a look at back in Max Payne 3 for redefining gameplay. Yeah.
That also incorporates a little bit of parkour. I'm not asking for Assassin's Creed Unity here, but just something that's like a little bit more athletic and realistic of like what a normal person could do. Along with that, I would love to see some more swimming activities added into the game, like maybe some like deep sea spear fishing or something.
You gotta. You're in Florida. You have to. It would be honestly on this point, it would actually be kind of insane if they didn't, to be honest. Just being honest with that. Like, even if I wanted it or didn't want it, it would be weird if they didn't have it in there.
Something like that, adding in a ton more wildlife. Maybe there's some like ocean photography thing that you can get paid for. Just something involving the water more. I think it's gonna be a major part of Vice City, so it'd be cool to see what they do with that. I know that some of the things I'm mentioning might be shooting the moon in terms of what we're gonna actually get, but honestly, I'm not really too worried about it. I just do have full faith in Rockstar that they're gonna make a stellar game. GTA 6 has been cooking for quite a long time, and it's gonna shake the earth when it drops. And it's just a couple short years away, man. Hopefully. Let's pray that there's not any like crazy delays or anything like that. And I wanna hear what you guys think about this. Do you guys agree with some of my recommendations?
like, I think a lot of what he's saying is valid. I didn't even think about the whole immersion thing. I think he brings up a really good point about that. I don't know why I just didn't think about it. But my big concern for GTA is this. Where's it at? This is kind of where I'm at. Why why I need to see the game. Not because of like, oh, I can't wait to this and this. I just need to know if my heart's gonna be broken right here. Because this is the point I'm worried about. Like this stuff.
Kids started playing it, and channels like Quibble
Like this. This is what I'm worried about. This is what I'm worried about. So, will this be my GTA? I hope not. God, I hope it's not. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are these videos soothing as we make our way through the year waiting for GTA content at least? But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Love you guys. Be safe. Check out the next one. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.